So another game that looked really interesting at E3 this year was Skull and Bones. So for those that might not know anything about this game, it is pretty much the spiritual successor to Assassin's Creed Blackflag and is currently being developed by Ubisoft Singapore. It began development back in 2013. Those who might know me, Assassin's Creed Blackflag is probably one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. One of the things I really enjoyed about Blackflag was the naval combat and the exploration. I loved being in the open sea. I loved being a captain of my own pirate crew, and yeah, Skull and Bones looks really fun. So is this the pirate game that we have been waiting for? Well, after the disappointment of Sea of Thieves and the lack of content with that game and the lack of creativity and ingenuity when it came to gameplay mechanics and side missions, Skull and Bones actually looks quite promising. We got to see quite a large chunk of gameplay at E3 this year, and that is some of the gameplay is in the background here for you guys to enjoy. So what did we actually learn about the game? Well, players can actually take control of a fully customizable pirate captain. So you're not going to play as a historical figure like we had in Assassin's Creed Blackflag. You're not going to be able to play as famous pirates like, for example, Blackbeard. You are instead going to be customizing and creating your own pirate captain. And you can either choose to set off on a purely single-player campaign set in the Indian Ocean, or if you want to, you can also get up to 5 other players to either ally with yourself or engage in combat with these 5 players within an open world multiplayer setting, which is known as the Disputed Waters. Players can actually collect additional ships throughout the game. So some of the ships that we got to see include sloops of war, frigates and brigantines. And each of these ships are going to be fully customizable. They will, of course, have crow's nests, which you can use to spy other ships in the area using spy glasses. And each of these particular vessels are going to be equipped with their own unique set of weapons. So, you know, those could include mortars, broadside cannons and rockets. As well, each ship has its own kind of special charged ability. So we got to see one ship which had a special charged ability which allowed you to ram into other vessels. I think another one had like a siege mode where you basically put down your anchor and then your broadside cannons would have like an infinite shooting ability for a limited time. And then I think another one had like a forward cannon that could keep shooting indefinitely as well. So yeah, the gameplay of Skull and Bones looks really fun and exciting. The navigation, the ships look incredibly fast. The combat looks fast as well. It looks like they are taking a lot of things from Blackflag but kind of expanding on them. So there are going to be kind of like randomized elements that can influence combat. So like, for example, if you have a favorable wind in your favor, you obviously have to get you know, your cannons, you know, broadside, so you're facing the enemy ships. You can chase down vessels as well. The combat looked fun. What I liked about it, which was very different from Blackflag, is you really feel like you're in the thick of a battle. You know, it feels heavy, it feels weighty, just from the gameplay that we've seen. So for example, when you're obviously attacking an enemy, it will actually zoom in on the area of the ship that you're using. So for example, if you're using the broadside cannons, it will zoom in and lock in on that as you attack the enemy. As well, if you're looking from the crow's nest, it will zoom in from that as well. If you're steering the ship, it'll zoom into the captain. If you're ramming the vessel, it'll zoom in at the front of the ship. So because of that, I think the combat feels very exciting and very fast-paced and very sort of engaging, and I kind of like the way that they're doing that. You can also repair your ship, I think, in the middle of battle, and they have shown that you will be able to board vessels and you will be able to sort of anchor at particular islands or shipwrecks, and you'll be able to engage with these as well. So we did see a lot in terms of the gameplay, and you know, I've got to say the combat looked fun. The whole idea of being able to explore these oceans as well in up to 5 player, you know, team. Obviously it could be a little bit like the Division, wherein, you know, you could turn against other players very easily. So say for example, if you teamed up to take on a boss, for example, or a huge powered vessel, and you know, you defeat this enemy and your teammate is quite weakened by it, you then very much could just sort of spring an attack on them and take them down, really before they could react or sort of you know, defend themselves or throw an attack against you. So yeah, the gameplay looked fun. Is this the pirate game that we want though, or that we've been waiting for? I don't know. My concern with it is, from what we've seen, whether or not this kind of gameplay is going to become very, very repetitive and very boring. There is going to be a single player campaign, but we haven't been told how extensive that's going to be or how that's actually going to play in. As well, we've only actually seen you on your vessel. There are elements where you do board the ship and you can like land on an island to get resources, or even to you know, look at kind of enemy downed enemy ships and interact with them to sort of steal their flag and use it to disguise your own vessel for sort of stealth elements. We have seen elements of that, but in every time that we've seen it, it's just been very quick cutscene sort of animation, where you basically, you know, you just watch you board the enemy and defeat the enemy crew and you know, loot that ship. We don't actually get to physically do that ourselves. So some of the elements that I loved in Blackflag were the underwater exploration, you know, swimming underwater, looking for sunken ships, looking for sunken treasure. I also really enjoyed being able to sort of get off of my ship and explore islands for buried treasure. I love the elements where we got to go to sort of pirate towns like Tortuga and you know, really see, you know, that element of pirating as well. And what we've seen so far, it very much does feel like you are chained to your vessel. We haven't actually got to see any actual like getting off your ship and interacting with the world around you. So that's my only concern. If it is the case that the story is going to be told in cutscenes, except for the odd moments where we're on our vessel and we're carrying out missions, I think that's going to become a little bit repetitive. I'm hoping that we will actually get to see our captain off of their ship. I'm hoping we'll get to see them interact with lots of other pirates. I'd like to be able to actually recruit, you know, members to our crew, especially in Blackflag. You know, when you did board a vessel, you did actually give them an option. You could sort of say, right, I'm going to destroy the ship, or you can join my crew and survive, and obviously offer them the life of a pirate. So far we haven't really seen whether that's an option in Skull and Bones, so I will say I'm interested in this game, but as it's currently looking, it looks a little bit repetitive for me, and I feel like after a while it could become repetitive. It all depends on the story for me and how good the story is going to be. It also depends on the amount of content that we're going to get with the game, as to whether or not I will pick this game up. So at the moment, as it's currently looking, let's say this game looks like it's worth a £20 to £30 purchase, but I don't think it looks like it's worth a £50 purchase at the moment. So, but you know, we haven't found out everything about this game, and I'm sure we will find out a lot more in the months ahead. At the moment, it is set for release in 2019. It has been delayed to 2019 because Ubisoft Singapore have said that they want more time to actually work on the game and develop it. So I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, so that's kind of everything that we know about Skull and Bones. Why I think it looks cool, why I'm excited about it to a degree, but also, you know, some of the concerns I do definitely have. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you interested in this game? Is it something that you're looking forward to? Are you a fan of pirate games? Does this look like the pirate game for you? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.